the very first podcast
Yes.
that we are doing. This is going to be an ongoing thing that we'll actually do probably every other week. You will probably end up hearing my voice an awful lot, which I'm apologizing for now. But so for now, we have three people in stream with us, so that is pretty cool. So you know me on occasion. I'm Indy. You guys
She's
want
the
to say
person that posts about everything in social media. She is the mastermind behind all the shenanigans that go on Facebook.
all the shenanigans? Great.
All the shenanigans. All
The
all the
shenanigans.
hashtags.
All the Uber hashtags.
All the Uber hashtags.
I'm Uberific, yo.
Yeah.
So,
And on the
and
other
then,
side we have also Dennis.
That's me.
Dennis has been contributing to our blog for a little while.
yay, Dennis.
Yes.
Still the newbie though.
His first touch into the world of gaming was his review for Final Fantasy
Rock on, man.
12? No, it's not 12.
4, I think, after use.
Yeah, that one. The one he said. Yeah, pretty great to be surrounded for such a great bunch of people right now, and really happy about all the things that we are set to contribute, basically, which is well, everything that is coming with the Battle Herald and what it implies. If I might talk a little bit about myself, I'm 26 years old. I'm getting old, that's for sure. Oh, you can
Okay.
you can lie. You're getting older
Yeah.
than me.
You know what? Do not even start with me.
Okay,
Do not even start.
I'm not starting anything.
Nuh-uh.
It's
I
not common to woman's age.
I have a, you know what, from now on, I have a magazine that I'm going to use it and whack you with it
Are
from
you
like
gonna swat
a
me?
thousand miles away. Yeah, I am. You know what? I'm going to mail it to your girlfriend, and then when you annoy the crap out of me, there's just arms going to come out of nowhere and whack you on the back of the head.
Please don't give her ideas because she might
Yeah,
actually do
totally.
that.
I am so going to give her ideas.
Oh my god.
She is my my evil counterpart that you live with, which is good.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
I can see her laughing. You're giving ideas.
All right.
Rip Lucas.
Yes, it's going to be one of those things. Well, so to follow up, I'm Indy. I'm a gamer. I'm not telling you my age, but I fit into one of those old school classes. Yeah, I'm totally 126, and it was creepy because his mic was like kind of that paranormal, like going on, 26. And
Uh,
I've known Lucas since about 2009.
yes.
We actually met playing on WoW, and he's put up with my crap for that long, and vice versa. So I think,
Can you
yeah.
believe that I have endured
Excuse
that many years of bullshit from you?
me.
Oh yeah, you.
I remember when when we would game, and you would come and you'd ask some of the most randomly weird questions in WoW, and I would be like, I would turn to my ex-husband and go, I feel like his mom. It was like really bad. You're not laughing.
Let's
Fine.
let's agree that let's keep in mind that I started playing World of Warcraft when I was about 19, 20 years old. I was like right out of the cocoon.
Yeah.
I had no idea what the real world was about. For me, everything was rainbows and ponies, and I always thought that I was going to chase that one dream.
Ponies.
Yeah, yes, rainbows and ponies. Well, okay, let's make it a little bit more manly. Unicorns.
No, that just made it like less, you know. But yeah, Dennis, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're actually tuning in from?
I'm 25. I'm a huge gamer in a tiny body. I grew up playing Final Fantasy VI on the Super Nintendo and Super Mario World, and then fell in love with
Nice.
RPGs. And I played WoW since I was 14 until like last year.
Oh, nice, nice.
Okay, so
Okay.
we're amongst fellow we're amongst fellow World of Warcraft players. Rainbows, ponies, torrents, and all the gang.
Oh yeah, Torrens. They're so good on a Kaiser roll with a little bit of mayonnaise, little lettuce. Okay, so
I don't think you did the same things that I did with torrents. Usually they would meet the little end of my
wait,
knives.
wait. What did? Yeah, you would get behind him on your
Oh,
rogue.
oh yeah, oh
You
yeah.
backstab and you'll sell some Torrens, huh? Oh, giving some Torrens some
Some
reach around.
a little bit of that backstabbing action.
Oh
But
my.
it's really bad when you sap your victims first.
Oh
Just
yeah,
the-
it just makes them a little bit more easy prey.
Oh, that is no. We are not having this conversation.
Okay, how are we getting to this conversation? Yeah, let's please let's
It was
focus.
Mortician. Mortician was like, Rainbow, that's funny. Reach around. Yep. So we.
Actually, you do know that rogues are masters of poisons, right? Who do you think that invented roofing people in Azeroth, huh?
I actually have a buddy who plays whose name is Rufus, and he's a rogue. He's an undead rogue.
I mean, what do you think the numbing poison is for? It's not just for stunning.
Oh God. I'm not touching this one. All right. Moving
There are
on.
lines that should not be crossed.
That was
And we left it back like a mile away.
We did. But then again, you're streaming with Indy, so it's really nice to
Yeah.
think.
This is something that you're gonna have to get used to, Dennis, because chats
Yeah.
with her go like this.
And they tank.
Did you know that rogues had a funny variability called poke?
No,
It
but
was
you know,
secret. It was only for some certain individuals that mastered the arts of roofiness.
roofiness.
Yes, of roofiness, of roofing people.
You're making up weird words.
No. I'm not making weird words. Let's make it clear. That's one of those Italian sounding words.
No, roofiness.
Yes.
Really.
Yes. I'm gonna make up my own words. I'm gonna make my own language.
Well,
With blackjack and hookers.
All right, I'm over you. So wow, I've got things to do. It's Friday night. Why am I not here? That's right, First Light. Roofiness.
Yeah, that's my grammar Nazi girlfriend for you.
She is on my side, man. He Googled it, it isn't. I love it.
Okay, as of today, roofiness is the art of roofing
No.
people up.
It's not. It's not. We are so not using
Actually, I don't know why I should feel proud about making that kind of word, because that's not cool, man.
Wow, he just got his his past tense and his current his present tense totally confused right then.
I'm getting my French mixed.
No, more like he started thinking in another language and it just went out the door, and then he translated it into French and right back in English.
Don't forget that I made the entire turnaround into Spanish too.
I know, first.
First. Like, it enters in Spanish, it goes through the system in English, and it has to come out in French.
That's
Actually
right.
impressive.
That's actually something that I have done in an interview. That it's actually one of those moments when you're like facing the first time you're going into like a job place, and you're like right out after leaving French classes, and you're like, okay, how am I going to deal with the world outside? And when you get asked a question, it's like, okay, he asked me this. Let's translate it to a language that I understand. Okay. Now let's translate to the language that I actually speak. Okay. Now let's do the same process back again. And after 5 minutes, they're asking you to leave the premises of the building.
Oh my God.
Yes.
All right, so now we've gone into the adventure of Lucas's brain, and I'm a little afraid now. We actually still have people watching, so that's good.
Okay, yeah.
Gained a viewer.
Ed,
Yeah, oh, we're gaining viewers. That's good.
which is awesome. So, welcome to the new peep who just came in to check out the stream. We're actually doing the Battle Pod tonight, which is a new feature that's going to be that we're developing as we speak. It's kind of on the fly right now, but we wanted you to get to know us, because most of the time what Lucas does is he actually just streams games and talks about games, which is of course what streaming is. And my job pretty much is to make fun of him, 90% of the time, which is so nice.
How else I will roofie Mike? I think now you know who roofied you. Just replying to one of the one of the comments in chat.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
Gary.
Yeah, well, on my end, I've been gaming ever since I have memory, to be honest. I remember that my first console
So
was
in the
an
fetus.
Atari. I was born with a Game Boy. I came out of the womb with a Game Boy. No, I'm kidding. If
It
that would be a
is.
thing, I would probably be Korean. So that's not the case.
I don't even want to think about like the concept of you gaming in the fetus. That was just, good. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I had to get a Hispanic joke in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, don't worry.
It's all right. It's right. I noticed I'm in the middle of the pictures. Great.
Yes, you're the spotlight.
It's like a bad sandwich. But
Uh,
so primarily, let's talk a little bit about why you started the Battle Herald.
yes.
That's something that I think should probably be kind of understood as a. So why did you start the Battle Herald?
Well, there's two mainly reasons why I started the Battle Herald. The first one, and not the strongest reason why, it's because I was tired of my desk job, and I felt like I couldn't handle a desk job anymore. Because not because it was boring or anything like that, okay? Because in the end, a job is a job, but mostly because it was not fulfilling.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
I this is something that everyone goes through his life, no matter when. At some point in their life, they go through this point where they say, "Look, I want to do something of my life that I love, and I want to push it forward." And I started thinking about all the possibilities. Like, I don't know if not a lot of people know, but I started my career as a student in music in the University of Montreal. Well, I first went to a private school because for me it was the easiest way to get some sort of education here as a new immigrant. Basically, when I got here, I knew nothing of the language. I don't want to flaunt myself, but I learned French in 6 months on a night. I was in French classes when I got here. Okay? I came to this. I came to this province not knowing a single word of French. I got to the classes because it was free, and it was like a free. It was a free step into learning something new, and because I knew that if I didn't go to that, I would be screwed. And at the 6 month mark, out of 9 months, I was completely and utterly bored with it. So I decided to leave, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go find my call. And I come from a family where almost everyone is a musician of sorts. Being the most prominent figures in my family, my mom and my dad, which had been known as stars in their time, to put it in a way. So I decided to start studying music so I could make music for video games. And in the process, I started to involve myself a little bit into more volunteering job. I tried to expand my horizons a little bit, know more about the industry, because for me, before I got here and I started studying the industry, for me everything is like, oh, there's a new game out, I should buy it and play it. Period. There's no analyzing about who did what, who did it, why they did it, what was the inspiration. Nothing of that kind of stuff came into my mind. And the more I started studying and learning about the industry, the more I grew curious. And I would probably say that the first places where I started learning about all that, and I could have like a first insight of how games are made, was when I started my volunteer work at the Montreal International Game Summit. Like my friend Mike here, Mortician 1010101, pointed out, that's where we actually met.
101, 101.
10101.
The fact that you actually read the freaking
Hey, I'm going to refer to people like their names is like it's spelling their name.
101, 101, 101. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Okay, so
yeah,
so
that's where I met Mike, and this kind of conference, well, the summit, it's not like your everyday con. It's more of a place where the people from the industry gather together, and they have talks about game development, game design, animation, and just recently, probably about 2 years ago, and that's very recent, they started getting people to talk about sound and music in games. Before that, the Montreal International Games Summit, it wasn't known for showcasing how music and sound worked in games. Like they really, I guess they weren't really interested in getting the kind of people that would do a panel about it. Now it's getting bigger, and I kind of enjoy that because as a musician myself, the first thing that I look for into a game is what does the music sound like? How does it complement the environment in a game? What does the big question is, what does the music make me feel when I hear it in a game? And one of my favorite games that up until this day makes me shiver when I hear it is Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Because in my opinion, that game has the most amazing and spectacular soundtrack I ever heard in a game.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think I derailed a little bit from why I started the Battle Herald. Yeah,
And-
I went
yeah, but
I
it's-
went far.
It's a journey though, and
Yeah,
I've
it's a
known
journey.
you for a chunk of that because I remember when you and I met. Originally, you were composing and you were still in school, and it was really funny because I would ask you all these really funny questions, and you would be like, because I too was a musician at one point in my lifetime. I played for 8 years, and I was also vocally trained when I was very young. So for me, I think that's not only was it gaming, but I think you and I talking music was probably one of the things that sparked our friendship for so long.
Yeah.
And then you kind of changed positions on what you were doing, but music still held a really, really strong point. I remember he would get so excited about finishing a piece that he actually had, he'd been working on for days.
Yeah,
Pardon me.
that's true.
And he would be like, you have to hear it. Like, you have to listen to it. And I remember, do you remember the piece that's, oh gosh, kind of reminds me a little of Prince of Persia? Do you remember that piece?
I can probably find it, but I think I know which one you're
Do
talking about.
you know the piece? So one of the very first pieces that he actually ever gave me was this piece that has a very almost Middle Eastern flavor to it. And it was very different from other bits and pieces I'd heard him writing. And so you could watch, as a friend of his, I could watch how he was developing as not only as a person from knowing him personally, but as a musician. And so I knew eventually he was going to go someplace else. Either it was going to be in music or it was going to end up being in video games. And it definitely took that track of moving towards video games. And so,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
then,
it was
ultimately-
something that I really wanted to chase, doing music in video games, and I could say that at some point I did get an experience out of it because I could share what I created with other people, and I think that some people like what I did, and even though ultimately I was kind of forced to stop chasing that dream because I was faced with a cold reality, which was there is too much people out there for such a competitive industry, the one of the
Well,
music.
I think also the difficult place too that what kind of came to a head was also living in Canada. You had two choices. You either found a gaming company in Canada who would actually provide you the creative ability to actually make music and do music the way you always wanted it to be, allow you that creativity, or move to the United States and be able to have a job with one of the development companies here. And it's hard to jump from one place to another and be able to maintain that kind of integrity for your music. That changes everything. And I remember when you were making those decisions and sort of started bypassing and deciding that maybe it was time to take a different look at a different way to go.
Yeah, and at the same time, I like I said, I was kind of sort of on a crossroad because one of the other things that I had to think about is that I had things to pay, and I didn't see myself going anywhere. Like
Food is important.
yeah, I knew that at the rate that I was getting into, like I would have to find something that would not, I would say feed me, because I was living with my parents at the time, and even though after I moved I still had time to make music,
but I don't think the passion was still there. I
Yeah,
think
it was definitely not the same
you
at
got the
some
stark
point.
reality, I think, at
Yeah,
that point, that it was too much about the industry and not enough about you being
about
part
me
of the
being
industry.
creative. Yeah, it was like I was
Yeah.
too worried about just trying to get in that I
Yeah.
wasn't really being able to express myself at the fullest,
Exactly. Exactly.
which
So
led into like a myriad of other things, other kind of works, other jobs, until the point that I realized that I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
exactly, and that's what brought us to, in a big full circle, that's what has brought us back to
To the Battle Herald.
why you started beginning the Battle Herald. And I remember when you first started talking about it, and by the way, we should give really huge props to his girlfriend, because she not only has been so uber supportive of him in chasing this dream, but she has been there to just, moral support and every other kind of support you
Yeah,
possibly can think of.
that is completely true.
Yeah,
Numero
she's
uno.
super props to that one, because
Yeah.
not a lot of women understand, when it comes to this kind of industry, they kind of look at it and go, oh, it's a time blower. But the thing is that when you get the right one, it's not. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I mean, she has been super understanding about my
Yep.
situation and what I'm trying to accomplish, and I think that probably she was one of the first people that noticed that what I was doing was not what I wanted, and after I
Yeah.
realized where I wanted to be, she was the one that said like, "Go for it,
Yeah.
do it, just don't forget to pay the bills."
Again, she kept you on the, the one of the things that she's level-headed, because you tend to be a little bit,
I tend to
you
be a
can
little bit
be
too
a
much of a
dreamer.
dreamer.
You are. It's why you and I get along so well. It's because we're kind of the same mindset in that way. So it's good you got her as a pendulum balance in the work that you're doing, especially with the Battle Herald. And so how I got involved, just kind of throw me in here, is that one night we were screwing around, and I usually, not often, but often enough, I actually stream with a streamer out of Norway called his name is Thorlax. And for a while there, I would stream with him, and we would just get really retardedly stupid on stream and just have a good old time. And he would get a lot of followers. And then Lucas is like, "Well, hey, you stream with Thorlax. Why don't you come over and stream with me?" And I was like, "Well, cool, And we were friends. We get on.
And
And
you
the
know
first
what you made me
couple,
do? You made me had a karaoke night the first time you came into my
I
stream.
no second night. The second night, I made him karaoke, and we actually got the most followers that ever watched his stream.
Yeah, single night, most concurrent views of my entire stream life.
And so it became like one of those things where I just started. I would come on randomly and talk to him or make fun of him while he was gaming or ask questions, and we just had a lot of fun. And then life kind of started happening with me to where I couldn't come on as much, and now I'm able to dedicate a little bit more time. You do see me kind of more as a heavy poster for Facebook. So you will actually see me a lot on Facebook, just throwing out funny things that I think are hysterical. I do a lot of different stuff with social media, so it's like my comfortable element. Hence why I'm not moving on your screen, because it's not. Well, Lucas can kind of sing, but if you give him songs like Barbie Girl, it's terrible, and we should make him do it later. So.
I see where this is going, and I don't think I like it.
Oh yeah, the Battle Bard. I love it. I love
The
it.
Battle Bard.
The Battle Bard. That is awesome. Well, it was funny when we were trying to make the graphic for this. It kept being like he kept saying it looks like the Battle Poo like over and over again. So this is going to be your corner for us flinging gaming knowledge at you.
Your bi-weekly dose of gaming shit,
There you go.
featuring your favorite monkeys.
No, I'm not a monkey that flings poo. I'm a space goat in WoW, thank you very much.
Yep, Draenei.
I'm a Jedi. Oh, yeah. And eventually, when I get my rig, I'll actually start streaming a little. And when Lucas comes back and actually plays on WoW, it would be nice to stream with him.
Oh
But-
yeah, that is happening,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. I am coming back to World of Warcraft.
Oh, boss. Yeah.
My
'Cause-
streaming nights are gonna be full of Blizzard games. I'm probably gonna be juggling between Season 4 of Diablo, Heroes of the Storm, because I still have to do my my placement matches, And
Yeah,
I
rank
am
3 today.
going to get to rank 1. Did you get to rank 3? Did you just say you get to rank 3?
Yeah, I got to rank 3 today.
I hate you.
I'm like
Nice.
10 points from rank 2.
Just look behind you. That's the door. You can leave.
Actually, that's a window.
That's not a window. That's a door.
That's a door.
That's the door that leads into my hallway and into the exit.
Oh no, I was talking about behind me.
Yeah, there is actually
That
a,
is. I just want to point out that it's pretty interesting that what Mike is pointing out is the possibility of the new Warcraft RTS and where the StarCraft world might lead into after StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void is done. So those are things that are making me super curious, but probably something that we're gonna touch in another battle pod. Like as of
Yeah,
for
definitely.
now, we want you to know who we are, what we do, and why we do it. Hey Vic, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream.
And it's the other thing too is that another portion that we're working on too for the Battle Herald are spotlights on streamers, not only streamers that are Canadian, but American, European, so pretty much worldwide streamers.
Yes.
Something that we want to do is be able to talk to people about what they do, why they stream, why they play the games they do, but also get used to actually talk about the personalities, because I think gamers as a whole are a very very dynamic type of personality. There's probably like 5 different types you meet when you're gaming. And one of them is the overly excitable. That would probably be me. One of them is probably the quiet plotter. I mean, there's just different types of gamers, but I really am interested in meeting and talking to gamers. And especially, yes, you can be extremely introverted as well. It all just depends on the types of particulars you are. But at the end of the day, I really want to start being able to feature different streamers, because not only is Lucas a streamer, but it is really a community. It's not us against them, it's all of us together. And so when you get to know other streamers, it becomes fun for you, because when you're not streaming, you get to go watch other streamers actually do really cool things and maybe be interested in playing the games they're playing. Because, you know, I'm a first-person shooter MMO type of gamer chick, so that for me is what is interesting for me. I like those things. I enjoy those things. And not everybody does, but for me, it's where my gaming in particular pretty much is based. I've probably played WoW longer than I really want to think about, and people probably wonder why, but hey.
Let's face it, World of Warcraft is a drug, and we're all addicted to it.
Well,
It
you
is.
know,
It is like a plague that is dormant in our systems. That at some point it just awakens and says, "Hey, take my money."
well, the biggest thing about WoW now, and we'll front your question here in a second, Mike, is that when they went for in-game currency subscriptions, I think a lot of people are that's where they jumped on the wagon again, because I fell off the wagon because, frankly, for a while there, I was so broke that I really didn't want to pay $15 a month, and I know how cheap that sounds, but it is what it is. And so when I was able to go back, and I had this money I'd been sitting on for years, and I was able to buy, you know, tokens to play for 6 months for free, who the heck wouldn't do that? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I have friends that have been keeping their eyes alive,
Yeah.
their accounts alive, simply because of that. Because apparently, it's super easy to get the money. Like
It
20,000
is.
gold is not something that is hard. Like, let's say if your everyday gaming life, that is all your 25 dailies. I guess it's still 25. I don't remember if it's still 25, but you do that every day, and in about 20 days, you get all the gold you need.
Well, I'll
That's what
tell
I've
you
been told. I don't know.
That makes me
There's-
really sad that it's only 20,000, and I've played since almost before Burning Crusade came out, and the most gold I've ever had is 8,000. I go through it way too fast.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Dennis, the craziest bit is that if you quest from level 90 to level 100 and don't do many dungeons, literally just do quest lines, you can have about 14 grand by the time you finish from 90 to 100.
Man.
Oh, I would have
And-
if I did that total,
Yeah.
but I ended up spending it right before I hit 100 to get an agility trinket for my hunter.
Well, that's why you got friends. Like
What are
seriously,
friends?
oh, I moved servers because now that you can random from other servers and stuff like that, the best part about it is the fact that you meet really great people. And I moved from a server that I played on for almost 9 years. Oh no, I'm sorry, for about 6 years, to my original starting server to a totally. I'm a PvP hardcore nut when it comes to the game. I moved to an RP server
Jesus,
with no
scary.
PvP. I am scary. It's awesome. Yeah, I'll eat your faces. But I
It was
moved
really cool.
there. Yeah, but it's how much fun it was to just be able to go out and not get ganked the entire time you're questing. Dude, that was pretty nice actually. I mean, I don't mind getting into it for a little while, but I was on Tichondrius, which is the biggest oceanic PvP server there is. And you be like questing, you're like do do do, and then you get ganked, and then like you run back to your body 3 seconds later, you get ganked again. It was epic. But it was always great if it was someone your level because at least it was a challenge. But when it was 100, it was like feeling like you're level 10 in Elwyn Forest and some like regular rogue, came out of nowhere and just shanked you. That's kind of how it felt after a while. But
Yeah. And talking about Guild Wars 2,
yeah,
that's a game that I enjoyed very much while I was playing it until I saw what it really was. Like I saw Guild Wars 2 for what it really was. Like that I have to say that Guild Wars 2 was the kind of game that I enjoyed during the journey, but at the very end, like every MMO, except like every MMO, it turned into the same thing as every other MMO, a grind fest. And
yeah.
I find that in Guild Wars 2, like it was so annoying at the very end having to try to do some sort of progression because everything was a grind. Absolutely everything in Guild Wars 2 felt like a grind for me. You want to do fractals, which would say it's the equivalent of a raid in World of Warcraft terms.
Right.
And in order to progress you do your fractals for level, and after you beat that level, you jump into the next one, and you jump into the next one, and you jump into the next one, and the more you do it, the higher the ranks you unlock, the higher the higher the chances of the loot you can get.
I love
You
your girlfriend.
you had to embarrass me in front of the internet.
I love your girlfriend. That is it. That is it. She is my sister from another mister. She barks at you as bad as I do. It's
I really wanted to get into Guild Wars 2 when it first came out. Me and my brother were actually talking about it earlier today. How
Oh,
we've
really?
tried to get into it like so many times since it first came out. We both get to like level 30 and then we just kind of taper off. Every single character we make, we like play it. We absolutely love the game. We get to 30 and then hey, look, a squirrel. We're gone.
Yeah. Our guild in Guild Wars 2, some of the members some of the people in the chat are from that same guild. Is the people that I've been after I left World of Warcraft, I've been playing since with them, and we were probably about 20 people, like very active people. We would do dungeons whenever possible, fractals whenever we were bored, because most of the time we would run World the entire day. And I don't know if you guys know a lot about Guild Wars 2, but there's a PvP mode
Pardon me.
and there's a PvP world in Guild Wars 2 that pits servers against each other in 3 maps that are exactly the same, and an additional one that would sort of connect all of them, if you want to put it that way. After you reach level 80, it's basically every day of doing that. And doing that, it's a little bit less boring than doing dungeons and fractals the entire time. I have to agree, World v World is super fun because there is so much dynamic to it. There's capturing points, there's capturing towers, there's sieging fortresses.
Mike is awesome. All right.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a really great person.
Love you, Mike.
Mike.
We're gonna kidnap Mike and put him on
Actually,
the
we
stream
might
or something.
we should kidnap Mike at some point and have
Yeah.
him live with us.
Word.
Because Mike also runs a Canadian gaming channel about news.
Oh really? Oh,
So he's either gonna be our best friend or our worst nightmare.
well, to me, that's the thing though, is that becomes the make or break of most games.
Mm-hmm.
When you reach max level, do you continue to play? You know what I mean? That becomes
That
like
depends what the end content is all about. One
Right.
of the reasons why I stopped playing, for example, Star Wars, because the end content wasn't there; it was non-existent.
I loved that game so much, but it was
Yes.
such a
The
The
disappointment.
game itself, the beginning of the story, it was just amazing. The storytelling is by far one of the best storytelling games out there, MMO wise, Star Wars. That is for sure.
yeah.
I don't think there's any other game that even comes close to that. I can't say that I like the combat because I find it very monotone and bland. That was probably one of the weak points of Star Wars, but there was nothing to do at the end game. People wouldn't run the what is it called, flashpoints? Is it flashpoints? No, operations. Nobody wanted to do that.
No, all I can hear is Flash Band in my head. Sorry, another game.
Flashdance.
No, Flash Band. It's from CS:GO. You when you throw
Fire in
out
the
your
hole.
flash grenades. Yeah. Yeah.
I love Star Wars. It was great, but after like level 15, the story was still awesome, but they like chimped out on voice acting, which kind of pulled me out of it after doing 15 levels of voice acting left, right, and center, and then only having your main story quests.
Oh,
And then you
okay.
hit endgame, and like you were saying, nobody wanted to do operations. Like they had them there, just there's absolutely no interest in doing them.
Yeah, like there was the end game content was there, not too broad, that's for sure. There was just a couple of things that you could do, but in the end, people didn't want to do it, and you were stuck with it because nobody wanted to do it. Right?
Well, that's the thing though, is like when it comes to like most in-game content, just to go back to all games and that, if you don't have a particular group of people that are just as dedicated as you are, it becomes kind of a grind fest where it becomes boring. And one of the things that I'm hoping that they start doing with most games is realizing that we need to go ahead and diversify to keep players interested. And I think that's the biggest problem with some gaming companies is that they don't develop enough interest. The one thing WoW did is overdevelop interest because there's so many things that you can do now. You're kind of like you are like a squirrel. You're like, I gotta gather notes over here. I gotta gather notes over here. I gotta gather notes over here. And then you get so crazed that you have to do all your crap that if you have more than one max level tune, it becomes overburdening after a while with
Yeah.
all the crap you have to do with garrisons.
Yeah.
So my suggestion when you come back is pick the one tune you absolutely adore and stick with it for the first couple of months.
I'm actually thinking that I might be running a priest. Like if
Really?
if I have any luck, I will be. No, I actually said I was going to run a druid.
Yeah, right now druids are pretty OP and they're multifunctional.
Exactly.
So
We need right
for
now.
you, yeah,
It's
yeah.
always broken.
Yeah.
Kitty Cleave is ridiculous at 100. Like they and everything dies. It's just it's over. It's like the furriest, ugliest, stabbiest rogue you've ever seen, but he's got like 50 daggers and he takes your face off and then he plays with it in a corner.
Yeah.
When Warlords
So
first came out playing PvP and the Feral Druids just come up behind you, your full health dead instantly. It's like, okay, that's fair and balanced.
yeah. Well, on my own end, my heart is always gonna lay down on my rogue. He still is
know.
pimping his legendaries. Second person in the realm to get them. I should probably point that out.
Really?
Yes, I
Really?
was the
I didn't
second.
realize that.
Do you remember
I
the
didn't
guy that
realize
was
that.
called pardon my French, fat bastard?
I do.
They
I
forced
remember
they
that
forced him to
bastard.
change his name. He was the first person to get them,
Yep.
but I did it after him. Like I was the next person to get them.
See,
The
I
only
didn't
reason why I
realize
didn't got them faster is because our guild wasn't running. They were running before us, so he had like 2 weeks of advantage in front of me.
Right. And it was like the guild that I rock and rolled to when I went Horde. They were server first for everything. So
Yeah.
when I ended
Lord,
up,
oh Lord.
yeah, I went Horde and that was one of the things I'm like in, floating around regular guilds. And then right before the X Pack for Pandaria dropped, they opened up their guild, which was kind of unheard of. They were the same 15 guys from Canada that played together for like 6 years. They were server first on every single raid for every expansion going back like 5 expansions. And
Oh, if I was still playing World
Yeah.
of Warcraft, I would probably remember their name because I've seen their names on the
Velocity.
list. Velocity, there you
Velocity. Yeah, and now they counter raid with Red Branch on Shattered Halls, and they're a good group of guys. They still do a lot of progression, but my original buddies are kind of gone now. So when you go back to play, you know, my tune's still in their guild and everything, but when you go back to play, it becomes, you know, it is what it is, and I've moved on. Like, I love my priest; she's always going to be one of my favorites, but you know, after a while, you sort of just do things that are different. Frowny face.
Yeah, it's a blood elf priest named Frowny Face.
Oh, that's
Is
awesome.
what race is he?
He's a
Blood
blood elf. You know what? You were such a man. I tell guys that are willing now, female or male tune.
Male.
It's male. Okay, so you in gaming in the World of Warcraft are basically like, I think you have the largest cojones ever, because anybody that plays a male blood elf has got to like deal with all of the bad jokes that come with playing a male blood elf. So like, it's true, dude. You want to be a badass. You play dwarf.
Wait, blood elves
You
have
wanna
a
be-
male? A male option? I didn't know that.
Case in point, ladies and gentlemen.
Case in point. There you
Case
go.
in point, why there is a joke behind it right there.
I mean,
So-
if it wasn't because there's actually two big spaces when you create a character, you would say that it's basically the same button for male and female when you pick a blood elf. It's literally melding in between
They
each other.
actually-
Female and the ugly cousin.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of emphasize the female anatomy now, so you can sort of tell them apart a little bit better, but the males still have better hair, which is really wrong. It is. It's terrible. It's very terrible. But yeah. But to kind of weave us back on track a little bit, we are looking for more contributors for the Battle Herald for writing. We're looking for a few more contributors. We would love to have some people to help out with posting on the site, or pardon me, on Facebook. Yeah, definitely. You know, and
Yep.
it's not just about. I tend to post really funny gamer related things, so and draw. Y'all are killing me, seriously, really. There's a guy that we know. He that I used to play with on Tichondras. He was I stripped a sheep, and they made him change his name. Oh, dude, we need to hang out with Mike more.
Oh, oh.
What are you laughing at? Like,
Androgynous. It's just the best.
androgynous. I know.
It's just the best thing
awesome.
ever. Oh my god.
You know, it'd be really bad is if we all rolled like level 1 tunes and did like a bad adventure. You know, do you know if you do it on an RP server, people will come up to you and start to like, so come hither, my lord. We are going out to find the greatest of Murlocs. And I'm like, wow, really? I mean, like, I used to do tabletop gaming, but even I stopped when we went to Denny's. You know, like, seriously. Oh, I get it. He would have to be a gnome, though, because they get an intellect bonus, dude. Just saying.
Isn't it just the mana buff now?
I don't know. I haven't played in so long that I don't really know what the perks are all about.
Yeah, I think it is a mana buff now, but it's... Yeah, that would make sense, because they are hitting pretty hard since mana cap's out now. That's probably the dumbest thing they ever did.
Yeah, I
wanted
never
it,
liked.
but I don't like it. I like having really big retarded amounts of mana for no reason at all.
I loved that too, especially when I was running my arcane mage through the hallways of the Ice Crown Citadel. I had
Hello?
the most mana of everyone, and it would never finish. Like my mana was never ending.
You had a never-ending mana pool.
Yeah, the never-ending
Yeah,
mana pool,
Tails.
so never-ending that people need to burrow.
I remember
Dude.
Firelands being a disc priest and just spamming your prayer of healing the entire time. Your mana bar is not taking a hit because it's just
doesn't do
massive.
anything.
It's like,
Dude.
Jesus.
Do you remember? Did you play during Lich King?
Yep.
Okay,
Just
do
my
you-
favorite expansion.
See, for me, it was the best part of it was every time a bubble popped, you got 3% base mana. So when you start running out of mana, you just bubbles for everyone, and then it goes boop, 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 and you're like, I'm a half pool again. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Well, in Cataclysm, they buffed that to 12% mana. If your bubble
Oh.
got broken, you gain 12% mana back. That's why disc priests never really cared about mana.
Yeah, we kind of just
It
rolled
was the best thing ever. You had
Yeah.
a lot of means to manage your mana as a priest.
And now they're really nasty, and everybody wants a disc priest in their raids. But I
Why?
sold out and I rolled a bunk because they're just right now they're mana efficient. There's a lot of splash damage, so they really want that protection. Oh, and they released the Black Gate and frickin' LFR, and it was like progression rating in there this week. It was really wild. Like people would stay for 2 hours to get the boss down. And they're like, and then there'd always be that one guy who we would cue as the cheerleader. He was always like, dude, we can do this. We can do this. It's good. It's good. And then we like go back in and like, yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. We got within like 40K of downing the boss, and like 90% of the raid would die because they'd forget to stack. It was hysterical. And then the tank would be like, I'm going to cry. We're like, there's no crying in WoW. And these are all
Actually, I played WoW. There's lots of crying.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of
there is a
cute
lot.
doing.
There is a lot. There's also a lot of drama.
Oh no,
Probably one of the reasons why I left the game, and I ended up in Guild Wars.
dude, I know about your old guild, and you could not pay me
To go back?
deal with the drama that you guys put up with because of your raid lead.
Oh, that was horrible.
I've been in a pretty good spot in WoW. Playing as long as I did, I've only been involved in drama like twice. And that was at the end of BC and at the end of Wrath. But that was it. Never had once had drama after that.
We won't talk about the terrible drama I partook at the end of Lich King. We will not even touch it. I'll tell you off camera.
All right, I might know about it, but or is this one of those things?
This is one of those things.
All right.
Probably not something I want to share like to the world there.
So if we might return a little bit to the topic of the Battle
Yeah.
Herald. Yeah,
No.
big derailment now, yeah.
We don't want to. Go
we
away.
should.
No.
And then we can talk about games all night and be good boys. And I'll give you all a lollipop if we talk about
When
it.
did I become a boy, dude?
Okay,
Like
good
I am
boys
so
and
not
girls.
a boy.
GIRL, guy in real life.
There. Oh. I just saw him roll his eyes on the feedback of the thingy of the stream. You shouldn't do that. It's very feminine. Don't go rolling
I
your
don't know
eyes.
what you're talking about. I have no idea.
You totally just rolled them.
I deny it. I don't know what you're talking about. I refuse. And the worst part of it is that I did it again.
And it's on camera for
And it's on camera for the rest of my life.
Total. Your girlfriend is getting you. I want to see that disembodied arm that whacks him with the newspaper. Just go get a nice Sunday paper that's super huge and thick. And then what I want you to do is tape it together in a very, very long length. And then from the couch, you can whack him.
Do you want me to die? Because that's how I die.
That's not how you die.
I mean, you're gonna tell me that I'm gonna live until my 26 years old, only to achieve one thing. Yeah, she's gonna kill me. I know it.
Oh, he's turned to look at her. She's given him the eye.
No, I'm actually studying her movements.
Then yeah. She loves it. She's like, that's a great idea. She's never gonna want me to ever come visit Montreal. Like, or Luis is gonna be like, no, you're never freaking coming to Montreal.
Oh, you can come and hang out with her all you want. I'm leaving the city when that happens.
Oh, crap.
I was in Montreal like a year and a half ago.
Really?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I live like 10 hours away. In
Now?
Ontario.
Well, where are you at, Dennis?
Ontario.
Oh, you're in Ontario. Okay, so I'm like 12 hours from you.
Where are you from?
Dude,
Wait.
I'm in Ohio, just south of the border.
Don't tell people that.
No, I don't. But it's all right. It's all right. The funny thing is you realize we're like the trifecta of gaming. You're like north of me, slightly to the west. Lucas is to the east. So we make like the Triforce of streaming. That's terrible. I know. There's a bad reference in there. I know.
Yeah.
Tried. I just lost a heart for that one. Where's the damn fairy?
Hey,
I don't
listen.
even like Zelda.
I love Zelda.
I love Zelda too, so you watch your mouth.
Yeah, we're gonna get the newspaper and make it long enough to whack you in Ontario now.
Oh, I got people in Ontario. Don't worry.
I'm sorry.
The Canadian League of Legends community is not for nothing. If whacking people.
He's gonna get you bumped off in game now.
I'm gonna make you lose in Hero League so hard, you're gonna regret it.
You're really
Oh
gonna
no.
regret it.
I have to lose 8 games before I break positive. Like, even? 50-50?
Really?
Yeah, I'm like a huge advantage right now.
That's something we can talk about and work around. In any case, I probably should say that Dennis, after I left my first work, I started working on creating the Battle Herald that was going to be. Is the cat still alive?
Yeah, he's alive.
Okay.
It's all good.
The cat's okay. Ladies and
That's-
gentlemen, the cat is alive.
The cat is good.
All right.
He
So
didn't get thrown against the wall. That's all right.
after I finished, after I left my job the first time, I finished creating the Battle Herald, so I could have a place where I could simply talk about games, and more and more it started feeling like the Battle Herald was gathering its own direction. You know, at the beginning I said, you know, I'm gonna talk about games. Then I realized that there's so many people out there that talk about games, when there are so many games that are so good and never get the attention they deserve. Mainly, for me, it was easier to say games that are made here, because I am here and I started meeting a lot of people that work in the industry here, and they would show me their games, and they were like amazing pieces of, you know, gaming software. And Dennis, in the process of that, Dennis joined the Battle Herald as a contributor. He started working on writing posts, writing for the blog, and like I said, his first blog. What was it? It was the review of Final Fantasy.
Yep.
And while I have Dennis helping me on the side of keeping the blog alive, basically, I could focus on what's happening on the side of the media, where I could implement what I find is my extraordinary creativity that I need to put somewhere, because otherwise I get too bored.
There goes his ego again.
There goes my ego. And I decided to create something that I called Made in Canada, that was supposed to be released months ago. I don't know what happened. I would say it was a combination of learning how to handle the creative process of creating something, because for me, writing at the very beginning was easy. I would just plaster my ideas on a Word document and then give it to my girlfriend so she could have a look and see if her grammar Naziness was triggered in any way.
He used to do it with me before. Like, he would write things and then be like, "Can you read this?" Like,
Yeah.
I'd be in the middle of gaming and like he'd be on my phone, I'd be reading it,
Yeah.
and then he would go ahead and give it to his girlfriend, and then she'd double read it, and it'd be
Yeah, it was
he had
double
two editors.
proof.
It was double proof read.
Double proof.
I
And-
proofed it for what language inaccuracies, and then she'd proof it again just to make sure that my English was good enough at that point.
Yeah. And that is how I started building the website itself. Now, I had the help of my mom, that she knows a lot about website building, to try to make something simple, but where I could gather enough information.
Yeah,
So,
shout out to Lucas's mom.
shout
man.
out to my mom. She's the best.
Yep, she is the best.
sometimes. And after I had all that done, I said, like, I'm going to create Made in Canada so I can talk about games that are made here in Canada, and particularly indie games. Because sometimes, and most of the time, I have been amazed by so many games that are made by indie companies. It's just ridiculous. Like, I can think of so many games that puts big companies to shame. Like, I can think of games that put AAA titles to shame by just the sheer amount of content, just the depth of things. For example, this is going to be a spoiler, but probably one of the next Made in Canada episodes that I will be doing about will be Invisible Inc. I started playing Invisible Inc. at the beginning of the year, and it's basically an MMO. No, not an MMO. Sorry, it's It's a tactical game with spies. It's like XCOM with freaking spies. And I don't think besides XCOM I ever seen a game like that. And it was just great. And you know who made it? The same people who did Don't Starve. If you guys ever played Don't Starve, I don't know about that.
I have a friend who's really into Don't Starve.
Yeah, I took a look at it, but I didn't ever really play it.
Well,
I think I watched Thorlox play it for a little while.
Don't Starve is also a great game.
Yeah.
It's Don't Starve Together is still in the beta in the early days of the beta, but it's a great game. I love it. Probably has something to do because I love A Nightmare Before Christmas, and it has such that feeling into the game. Like, it's so dark, gritty looking, but comical at the same time, you know?
Ooh, to go along that vein and genre, just to throw out Nightmare, did you hear that they're actually going to be making a new Beetlejuice?
Really?
Yeah, Beetlejuice 2 got announced about a week and a half ago, so that kind of genre of, because I started to go into the movie side of it, but that kind of hit my brain a little bit. Yeah, they actually, Winona Ryder was on doing an interview, and she was like, well, I guess since Tim Burton's talked about it, I might as well, I'm allowed to talk about it now. So yeah, definitely they're actually fleshing out the last portion of it. And so that should be out, I think they said in 2017. I'm kicking about that one, because that's something I grew up with.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton will be in it.
Yeah, he has actually already signed on for it.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be the original cast. Potentially it'll be all of them. And when you think about it, since they're all dead, I'm kind of curious how they're going to deal with the aging properties. I mean, like, Michael Keaton, he's going to be under at least a lot of makeup. Well, I don't know about CGI so much, but...
Camera tricks?
I don't know, but it should be interesting as it goes along to see what they're going to actually do with it. But to go, sorry, you were talking about Don't Starve and Nightmare Before Christmas, and my brain kind of kicked that
You kind of kick into another direction.
Yeah, like I was like, wait a second, I remember reading something about Burton. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Rewind.
Yeah. So yeah, and that is what happened with Made in Canada, and it's something that I'm proud to say. It's now live on YouTube. I am happy to say that today I finished producing the very first episode. That I did my best, and I hope the internet has mercy on my soul.
No, I'm gonna go and write terrible things about it.
And if you guys want to watch it, you got the link right there. That is the very, very, very first episode of Made in Canada. And I do hope that I will be able to keep pushing with Made in Canada, because this episode is like me learning how to do everything. Because I had to learn how to do Premiere Pro. I had to learn how to do After Effects. I had to learn how to Photoshop because of this. So I had so many things that I had to learn, and I'm actually happy that I'm learning these things, because these are skills that are very useful in the long run, applicable in many places, any media environment. And as a way of pushing this, I'm learning too, which is kind of great. Like I'm learning to script. I'm improving my language. Trying to learn more words, which is kind of funny because, you know, I most of the time I trample over my own words. English, such a complicated language.
It is. Comb? No, not comb.
Comb?
Tomb? Is it tome? No, tomb. I mean, yeah, there's this whole Gallagher thing. Every time we talk about you learning more proper English, but I'm sure that as it goes along, you know, it is what it is. I mean, we're in the development phases of sort of tooling in what he would like this to look like and be like, and so suggestions are always open. We'd love to know what you guys would like to see and what you guys would like to hear. Yeah, you're very right. First, it is, and sometimes, like right now, I'm learning Norwegian, and the other streamer that I actually do streaming with, 90% of his stream is in Norwegian. So for a while there, I would be kind of lost unless I was actually on stream with him, and then it was in English. But and I'll correct him too. I've wanted to like twice tonight. It like I was
Yeah.
getting a tick.
Yeah, yeah.
But like at the end of the day, I understand, and it's fine. It's what makes us people at that point. But to kind of move on to get us into focus a little bit. So where is it that we're going from here? We're going to start doing the podcast every other week, and then what is your hope for Made in Canada? How often are you thinking you want to launch an episode?
For me, Made in Canada, I wanted something to be. I wanted to have a really good production value. I don't want it to be like me. I just recorded a bunch of scenes on a game and I just talk on top of that. Like for now, it feels like that because I'm still fleshing out how I want the looks to be. I'm still trying to find the places, the locations. For example, like I have this super great idea in my head about Invisible Ink, how I want to look, how I want it to look at. And I have talked to friends that own cameras, and I'm trying to assemble a crew that are going to film with me. And I have a friend that studied direction in the university, and I want her to be part of the filming process of this. So it's something that is really nice. Before I start just talking about a game, yes, you can give me a piece of advice. I will be more than happy to hear about it. And I'm pretty sure that it's all gonna take time. It's a learning process for me too, and but yeah, that's the most important thing. I would say it's still a learning process for me, and I want something that it's not simple. If I could say it, like there's gonna be the review part.
Yeah, I agree with Mike on that too. I think that when you try to play perfectionist for too much, you limit yourself to what people are able to see.
Yeah,
And
that's
so-
true. I don't want to fall
Yeah.
in the same limbo as our friend John Tron, that still hasn't released anything since 2 months ago.
Well, then, at that point, if exactly, I agree with that, Mike, exactly. And so when it comes to it, you just sort of have to do things like on the fly. Like before we started our podcast tonight, we were talking and, it was like, well, how are we going to do this? And what are we going to talk about? And it was like, we will talk as we talk, because when you stream, it's all very on the fly and you do what you need. The next ones will be probably a little bit more tightly reined on what we talk about, but it is what it is.
Well, we're gonna definitely set like a central topic for next episodes. That's for sure.
Yeah, naturally, unless I kind of wind off into a tangent about something. And
Oh, I'm expecting us to wind out to a lot of places, but we will still talk about a central topic.
yeah,
Basically, what we're
totally.
doing right now, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, when it comes to you want kittens, all right, deal.
All right, then
I
I'm
can
talking
freaking
about my
talk.
then I'm talking about my dog in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I can totally talk about kittens for like an hour and a half
The
Oh,
dog
and
is
show
the
you
kid.
terrible kitten
It's
pictures.
the kitty people, not again.
Yes, the kittens, the guys and stuffs, and all that good yada yada. And okay, I'm good. I
So, well, I'm definitely gonna be working on finding the means and the ways to do to do something that is gonna look good, right? But at the same time, he's really right. Like I can't wait an entire month or 2 weeks on releasing something. I have to do it as fast as possible, and that's something that I'm also trying to, learn, is to be organized. Because if there's one problem with people that need to learn, especially someone like me, is that you need to learn how to be organized.
creative people don't know how to be organized.
Oh,
What it
hell no, we
comes-
don't.
What it comes down to be is you need to set yourself small goals that are not so overbearing that you actually do complete them. I'm creative, man. I know what that's like. So for me, when I work on anything, I put things together. I work on small goals. I meet them. I work on it again. I meet them. When it comes to writing a piece for anything, though, like I tend to try to write through because I've been writing for so many years. I can do it. But I think though you kind of see now our format a little bit. You're probably going to hear more from Dennis in the future. You'll definitely hear more from me. And as we go along, if you want to become a contributor of the Battle Herald, we are always open to more contributors. We're open to people to guest spots, so we can plug you if you'll plug us. So it's sort of a scratch your back, we'll scratch, so please scratch ours.
Now we're looking at you, Mike. I can't wink. I like
that's the thing, is that we're a community. We're not a bunch of trolls. I know there are a lot of trolls in gaming, but the thing is that we're a community, and first and foremost, that's the important part, is that we support each other with our ideas, to get each other the hits we need on our sites, and get the buzz going about what we're doing. And at the end of the day, I think that's the most important part, is that it's not about, it's about getting good content out there. It's about having fun doing it and not making it so much like a job that in 12 months it's like a desk job.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's the other half of it too, is if you're not enjoying it, you shouldn't be doing it. So yep.
Yeah. Well, I am enjoying it every moment of it. Like, I am getting to learn so many things.
I don't want to have to sell furniture for the rest of my life. I would totally love to be able to do something that would impact me on a daily basis and make me excited.
Yeah, and this is exactly what this is all about. It's like we want people to be excited about this kind of stuff. People that we're asking to contribute with us. We want people that know what they're getting into and come every day to us with a smile and a really good idea.
Yeah, then the one thing is if you do want to be a contributor, what we're probably going to start doing is having either a gathering where we have a hidden Facebook group where we actually do throw ideas out, and so as contributors, we would probably ask you to join there just to say, hey, this is what we're doing and this is what's in the works, and so what are you doing and what are you interested in, what are you working on this week, just so we have a place to touch base, because I think that's super important when it comes to
definitely.
Communication is huge and key. So but yeah, I think we've kind of covered it, where we're going and what we're doing and all that good stuff. I don't know about you, but I'm getting itchy to game.
Yeah. And that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
Let me get my radio voice.
Yeah, that's so yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and we're really hoping to grow as a community and be able to give you what you're looking for, right? Because on my end, especially, I'm not a comedian. I might be a twat on the spot. I might have my derpy moments, but I'm not a comedian, right?
A lot of moments.
Oh,
man.
A lot of derpy moments.
Yeah,
I think that we can all vouch about that.
I think it's why we work well together, is because I take your grand derpiness and I make it even more derpy.
Yeah.
I think we should end this with you taking a song request or two.
Really? They're gonna make me sing
I'm
karaoke?
gonna do that. Let me leave first. I like names for this guy.
For Dennis. He's like, oh my god, I'm so out of here.
Why did I ever do to deserve this?
Well, you are our fearless leader, so therefore...
I am the fearless leader, then I think I know who's gonna sing first.
No, I am not singing first.
Oh, so you refuse to follow the leader?
I refuse to follow the leader, because you know what? I'm the one
I believe that's called a mutiny.
Yeah, damn straight it is.
Why do you name me the leader in the first place? So you can make a mutiny on the spot?
Yes. Girls just want to have fun. Do it.
Oh,
Do
God.
it. Oh yeah, hold on. I'm getting you a link.
Can you at least look for something that I can actually sing? That is too high for me.
No. Do you want me to
just
get
want
you?
to have buns.
Well, you know, but I could make you sing Frozen. Don't make you sing Frozen.
That's even worse.
I know it is.
Like, I'm sorry, but I can't pull an Idina Menzel.
I'm not. You'd have to pinch one. Hold on. Did I ever give you any Postmodern Junkies? Or Postmodern Jukebox? I really need to give you some of them.
Jukebox?
Oh my gosh.
Wait, am I seriously singing? Like...
You don't need to sing. We can make this a creative week of or a creative a podcast of you singing or a stream. We should do it as for anybody that brings a friend in to like Lucas's stream or to like the Battle Herald either on Facebook, he gets one song.
Oh, I'll totally do the internet is for
He has
fun.
to sing a song. So to the 7 people that are actually like who came in to watch us tonight, thank you guys so much for coming in and joining us. That was really awesome of you.
Yes, thank you for being here. We wouldn't be anywhere without you. That's for sure.
Yep. Thank you for supporting Lucas's dream and doing what Dennis and I are doing, which is that should be his theme song. All right, don't stop believing, man. As we fade out, so we can go game now.
All right. Don't stop believing. I'll do Don't Stop Believing.
I got a raid. I gotta prep for here in about 40 minutes.
Why?
All right, should I get the music?
I need a link with the lyrics.
Oh.
But before we do anything, just for YouTube purposes, thank you very much everyone for being here. We're just gonna wrap it up here. Thank you for your infinite support, and we're looking forward to have you here for the next Battle Pod.
Yep, and for your weekly stream.
And your weekly stream and your weekly news and all the weeklies you can think about.
That should be a title of something. All the weeklies you can think about.
All the weeklies you can think about.
All the weeklies. All right.
Video idea. All
I
the
gave
weeklies you can think about.
I gave you a link, and you're going to be happy because it's actually the Glee version of "Don't Stop Believing."
Oh, it's even worse.
See?
That's higher.
I know. You're screwed no matter which way.
Okay. What's worse? Well, thank you very much. From my part, I'm Lucas. With me, I have Indy and
Hi.
Dennis. And we'll see you next time.
All right. We'll catch you later, guys.
Bye.
Get out and kill something.
All right. So now we're continuing with the party. Now that the YouTube party is gone.
Aww.